my God. Okay. It's finally a good episode of the challenge. And we need to talk about it. This is perhaps Scotty's favorite. He has said to me, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it definitely made me go, I missed this.
Of recent time. It's my favorite episode. But
not in like general.
No,
in like,
but like it was a good episode. Yeah, I would say good drama all around. The competitions this episode were really good and really I didn't know who was gonna win.
A headbanger. I love these ones where it's the different angles with the teams or the groups, and they come in and then they move. I just love like a hardcore physical competition. Other stuff is fun, but I will always
the pole wrestling, the hall brawls, like those are always my favorite.
But it's supposed to give every single time, even if it's a shitty season or I don't have people I don't like, it still gives a good time, some drama, some extra adrenaline pumping that causes whatever. It's good to watch. I like it.
Yeah. Basically, the daily challenge, there was 3 sort of pathways that were like trenches. And
so like Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire.
You had to run past people or like bump into them, run to their it was kind of like capture the flag, but like happening multiple times over and over with like little.
And that's how it always, they either have balls or, this time it was the dynamite. They have flags, whatever it is. It's the same.
So originally, Sapphire, specifically CT and Tori, were talking about like how, listen, you have 3 people on your team. I have 4 people. Emerald has like 6
or 7. Too much. They win too much. They have a rookie.
We're going to team up in this challenge and we're going to beat Emerald. It doesn't matter who wins between us, but I think like they wanted Sapphire to possibly win, or no, I think they wanted Ruby to win.
They wanted to just like let it be an upset because CT felt comfortable enough with Tori and whoever else that he was like, I'm not really worried about you guys winning, that it's going to come on to me or onto Emmy because I'm attached to her. Logan's cool, but I'm not as attached to him. So he was sort of like, I'm willing to let this go, build some like, we're cool, even though it was really only cool for the moment. It was kind of like, oh, we're cool. And then like I can use Ruby, who will probably never win again if I don't help them. But now they trust me, but I can use them to attack Emerald. No blood really on. That was CT's idea, I think. And Tori was just like, F it, let's do it. I want to win.
During the challenge, they're teaming up on them and Emerald is getting kind of irritated. And then Kyle, with his dumbass, goes from going to Emerald to Sapphire all of a sudden. And immediately
and then goes, oh, I didn't know. I was confused.
Oh, I thought you said go for Sapphire. And I'm like, Kyle,
okay, Shrek.
We're not doing this today. I don't even have the effort to put on the British accent. Like,
it worked the first time you did it this season, but you've already done it this season. No one believes that you don't know what you're doing. Everyone thinks
it's not funny, it's not entertaining, and it's not good gameplay. And I don't know why he chooses to do it.
But to be honest with you, I feel like the only time he takes it seriously is if he finally makes it to a final, like he has once, or once he gets put into elimination and his butt's on the line. Other than that, he wants to play around. He wants to play around, get dragged to the end, and then be like, okay, I'll beast mode it. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't want to take it seriously until he has to. And
it kind of irritates me.
It's if he was on my team, he would irritate the shit out of me. I think as a person, I would probably think he was hilarious and get along with him. But when it comes down to like, we are actually here to win money and like some people do care, and like I'm glad you're fine with this being your role on TV, but like I'm not acting, I'm really trying to win, or I really want to do like I would be like, I'm gonna fucking choke him. I'm gonna choke his ass out. It's not funny, it's not cute. First of all, your veneers look good, but they need to be shaved down. It's too thick. They're fine, but they're too thick. Every time I watch you talk, I say, I need to, where's the dentist? So then it's like, then you do that, then you act like a fool. And it's like, it worked the first time when no one knew you and when you were one of the first British people and like, whatever. And then and then you surprised everyone, went to a final, and then people got a hint, like, you're not that bad. Like, you are better than that. And then you've proven yourself in eliminations. You freaking turn on beast mode and you you actually give a shit. And when you give a shit, it's like that kid in school that doesn't try but is smart as shit. So like they don't turn in homework, but like if stuff is like geared towards if you pass these tests, you can pass the class. So all they have to do is show up and like turn their brain on when needed, but they're lazy.
Mhm.
That's what he gives. That's what he gives. And it would irritate the shit out of me.
Yeah, he basically fucks up with that. And then immediately CT, Josh, it basically pisses everyone off. Tori's pissed off. Nelson's pissed off. Like,
but I think CT was the most pissed off because he was like, listen, I was trying to
like,
let you guys.
The amount of times I've like tried to give Kyle the benefit of the doubt and he continues to do this, like, I understand why CT was upset. And like,
and he's too old now. He's like, okay,
and Kyle was like giggling while it was happening. And I'm like, Kyle, like, no one's like buying this whole, like, I thought you were gonna go for Sapphire. And like, we talked about this before. It makes no sense to go after Sapphire all of a sudden in the middle of the game. Like, no one's buying it. So
no one thinks you're that dumb. Like, you're not the smartest, you're not the brightest crayon in the box, but you're not that dumb.
And it also causes some issues with Devin and Tori because Devin's like, Tori, I don't know like why you're targeting a team that's like you mainly your alliance, which like Devin, you need to relax with that, because if you were in that situation, you wouldn't like just like immediately like give up and like lose. Like,
yeah, exactly what Tori said. Like, I'm just supposed to lose. Like,
it doesn't matter if like that is your alliance.
Apparently like, I'm bottom of the totem pole and I was easily disposed, and now I'm disposed, and now I thought I was working for
and
something.
Now you want me to throw the competition to you for some reason?
Because I'm not on your
team. You want me to go after Sapphire when they have 3 people?
Yeah, that's not happening.
It doesn't make any sense. So,
and if you thought about it, you would know you don't make sense right now.
Yeah, I don't know why he got all irritated. And it sounds like in the teaser, like they're still kind of arguing. Devin probably not
gonna go back to have beef, but it's like
Devin's wrong in the situation. Tori's right. End of story. And I feel like everyone was kind of shitting on Tori, and she kind of stood her ground. Like, she was getting real pissed.
Yeah.
Like, Josh was like, Tori, like,
she's the fucked up.
And Tori was like, don't even try me right now. Like, I just got traded. Josh said I'm expendable, and now you guys are getting pissed off at me. Like,
playing the game today. Like, this is my team now. I have to ride with them.
Yeah. So
you were my team now, and you were dominant, but now I'm not on your team, and you're still dominant. Now you're a threat. Now I have to go against you, or else I'm giving away $1 million. Why would I do that?
The whole it's a boys elimination day. Like, who the fuck cares? That doesn't mean anything. Like, it's not.
And if I do that, and then my boy goes and my team is lessened and everyone's mad at me, what does that do for me? Because I'm still on that team. Like, Tori was completely right. There's no reason for them to be mad at her unless they were planning on like trying to do something to make someone go in to get her back on the team.
Well, it's also the same thing of like last week when Amanda was like, or not Amanda, when like, was it Kyle who was just kind of like not giving a fuck because it was a girls elimination? Mm-hmm. Like, okay, so when you don't give a fuck and it's not your elimination, people get mad at you. But when you give too much of a fuck and it's not your elimination, people also get mad at you. It's like there's no winning. So
it was for Tori, and she was the one that was kicked off the team.
Everything.
What the hell?
So it basically solidifies Kyle's going to be the vote, especially since CT's on the winning cell, Sapphire. Yeah. I think Emerald knew it was smarter to give it to Sapphire.
And just let them do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Kyle does his whole, it's probably going to be Emmanuel because Emmanuel hasn't gone in yet.
I do believe him. Like, I know CT was like, oh, he's bluffing. And then it turned out to look like CT was right. But he still followed through with like, I'm taking Logan's spot and going over there. So it wasn't a full bluff. But then also I really do believe him when that looks like balance. And Emmanuel's better at balance. Why the fuck would I just stick with my semi-word to look like it was my word, but put myself in a worse situation? Like, when it comes down to being down there, I have to go with what I think is my best advantage.
I knew as soon as I saw it, he was going to pick Josh, only because
I knew it was Josh also talked up Emmanuel too much for it to be that. I was like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, but also Emmanuel, like, no one's really scared of you. I'm sorry. Like, you can stop that whole like bit, but the whole like, oh my god, like he chickened out on me, like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Okay, let's see how you do in an elimination. Like, I'm not to say like he's definitely a good competitor. It's just like you're talking way too much for someone who hasn't gone down there yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Kyle ends up picking Josh. It's a competition where you have
it's basically endurance.
Yeah, you have to jump off the platform and ring a bell, which apparently they like. It kind of bothered me how much they were missing the bell.
But it's because it was moving, and
I'm like, you should be able to read, like, if it's swinging out, that's when you jump, because when it swings back is when you're gonna hit it. But like, they were like, I feel like purposely, or not purposely, I know like it's a stressful time, like you're trying to compete for your life, but like both of them ended up jumping at like the worst times possible. And I was like, is this like a joke?
And I was like, they're both tall too. So I'm like, I feel like you should be able to reach it almost regardless.
Yeah, they're both over 6 foot. So I'm like, I don't know
how much they missed.
So you basically had to hit the bell, pick up a platform, climb up a ladder, and then put it to form a bridge. And
if you miss the bell, you have to climb back up and try again. You don't get to pick up the platform. There's 16 platforms. The first person.
First person to make it all the way across and ring the, like, hit the button wins.
Your bridge goes up in flames because they love to just
I think this was the closest the challenge has been so far.
It was close.
It was like no one had a bigger lead than like 1 or 2 at any time. Like it was consistently like equal. Like Josh would miss the bell and then he would get a platform, and then Kyle would miss the bell. I will say I was rooting for Kyle only because everyone was rooting for Josh. You want to root for that?
I wasn't. Like, I was like,
I could have sworn like in the beginning, I was like, okay, Josh is gonna win because of the way that they were like framing it.
Really? I was like, from the beginning, I was like, it's either gonna be Emmanuel going in, and I'm not saying it means it goes home, but he's either gonna go in. Then they pushed it too much. I was like, he's not going in. And then I was like, oh my God, Josh is gonna go home. Because I honestly was like, I don't know what it is. And it rang true. It ended up happening, but I'm like, Kyle just destroys people every time he needs to, and so I just believed it would happen again. And
unless he breaks his thumb.
Yeah, that's about it. Which
I don't count as a loss. It's DQ, different. But it's, I don't know, like
it was close. It's hard for me because I like both of them, to be honest, and I wanted to see both of them. I honestly would have much rather seen Emmanuel go down and go home. But it was just like Josh is starting to give me like Leroy vibes of like, I'm gonna get to keep coming back and I'm just never gonna win. I might even make it to a final and not win. And it's just like, I kind of want to see, you know?
I find Josh entertaining to a certain extent, but I feel like this was
to a certain extent
a bittersweet ending for him, but kind of like a justified ending for people who are upset about last week. It was goes home literally the week after.
Now they're both gone.
Which we're gonna get to covering that, but
stay tuned.
That's really this episode. I mean, like we did see some fallout between Devin and Tori. I'm sure they'll probably make up, but if not,
they'll make up by next season, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you want to know about all the drama, you're gonna need to like, comment, share, subscribe, because that video's next.